In today's breaking story, Trump just dropped a career-ending bomb on Jimmy Kimmel. That's right, Donald Trump's pathetic retaliation only gets worse. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, part of the reason I think that Trump is so interested in seeking revenge is because he is enabled. Trump is absolutely surrounded by yes men. He's surrounded by Republicans that stand with him as he does anything.
So here we have a group of people that are unvetted, unaccountable, and who have never come before this committee, even though we've asked, even though we sent resolutions of inquiry. But because Elon Musk and President Trump have decided that they're going to operate outside of the Congress, and there's no moral backbone on this side of the aisle to say, no, we're a co-equal branch of government, and they should be here in front of us, and they should testify, so that if we're so concerned about getting to the truth and adhering to the numbers, then why aren't they here? Are they above the law? Is that the morality we're talking about? That we have a group of people that are above the law, who are excused from coming before Congress and having to testify upon the impact of over 300 million fellow Americans? That's the issue here. Don't go on about this stuff about facts and figures and then claim that we want morality when the very people that are making the decisions are not the United States Congress. It's the President of the United States and DOJ. And they were never accountable to anyone. They've never been vetted, and they've never been in front of this committee. That's the truth.
And now Trump just dropped a career-ending bomb on Jimmy Kimmel. That's right, take a look at today's top story. Jimmy Kimmel lit up late night this week with a monologue that sent Republicans into a fury. He mocked Donald Trump and tied Charlie Kirk's assassin directly to Trump's movement.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years.
He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
That criticism has now sparked retaliation from Trump's own FCC chairman. Brendan Carr went on a conservative podcast and made clear that Kimmel and Disney, which owns ABC, could face government punishment for the monologue.
You know, when you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. As you've indicated, there are, avenues here for the FCC. So there are some ways in which I need to be a little bit careful, because we could be called ultimately to be a judge on some of these claims that come up. But I don't think this is an isolated incident. I mean, you go back to Representative Swalwell, and he had a tweet out last week where he was saying that, emphasizing that Charlie Kirk's killer was a straight white male from a Republican family that voted for Donald Trump. In some quarters, there's a very concerted effort to try to lie to the American people about the nature, as you indicate, of one of the most significant, newsworthy public interest acts that we've seen in a long time. And what appears to be an action by Jimmy Kimmel to play into that narrative that this was somehow a MAGA or Republican motivated person. If that's what happened here with his conduct, that is really, really sick. And I've been very clear from the moment that I have become chairman of the FCC. I want to reinvigorate the public interest. And what people don't understand is that the broadcasters, and you've gotten this right, are entirely different than people that use other forms of communication. They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
And that's the irony here. The very people who shout the loudest about free speech are the first ones to try and crush it when the jokes are aimed at them.
At the end of the day, if we do get called upon to cast a vote on this, Disney will have a chance to put in their arguments and explain it. But this is a very, very serious issue right now for Disney.
Yes.
And now the fallout. ABC has just announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live is being pulled off the air indefinitely. The move came only hours after Trump's FCC chairman threatened Disney's broadcast license, and Nexstar Media Group piled on by saying its ABC affiliates would preempt the show for the foreseeable future. Let's be real, this is pathetic. A comedian makes a joke, Trump throws a tantrum, and instead of standing up for one of its biggest stars, ABC caves to political bullying from the White House. So much for the proud defenders of free speech. Trump's team threatens government retaliation over a monologue, and corporate America immediately folds. If you were wondering how fragile Republicans really are, this is your answer. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.